Hi everyone, my name is Isabella. Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A for you guys to get to know me a little bit more about my curls, just things that you guys have been wondering about curly hair or anything really in general. I've been wanting to do a Q&A for a really long time, so I am so excited to finally do one with you guys. You guys gave me a lot of amazing questions. I asked you guys on my Facebook group. If you don't know, I have a curly Facebook group that I will link down below, and I always link in all my videos on my Facebook group, my Facebook page, my YouTube channel community, so you can actually go to my channel and there's some posts that I will chat with you guys about, and on my Instagram. So I tried to make the post asking you guys for questions on all my social medias. If you did miss it, make sure you follow me on at least one of those social medias. Obviously you follow me on YouTube, or you should be subscribing to me on YouTube if you are on here. But without further ado, let's get started with the questions. So I got majority of my questions on Instagram. I'm going to read them on here, and depending on how long they are, I might put them up on the screen. So let's get started with Instagram. So Amber Ngiam, hi Amber, I can never pronounce your last name. You ask drugstore brands with protein. So honestly, I feel like a lot of brands drugstore are not contain protein. It's more about finding what protein ingredients look like, how they are described, and how to identify them. I'm planning on doing a video. By the way, I'm going to be making this statement. I'm planning on making a video a few times in this because I really want to answer your question in depth. I'm going to try to give you guys my best summed up answer in this, but I do want to give you guys the in-depth answers that you guys deserve. So if your question is worth an entire video, I will try my best to answer it, at least to tie you over until my video, but I'll let you know if it's something that I need to delve more deep in. Alright, so going back to your question, Amber, drugstore brands with protein. Some of my favorite brands that have a lot of protein is Shea Moisture. Also, My L has a good amount of protein. Cantu. Those are three off the top of my head that I really love, and I've had a lot of success with those brands. The Curly Mermaid asks, when did you realize you had curly hair? How long have you been embracing / taking care of your hair? So I realized I had curly hair. That's sort of a interesting question because I had pretty coarse, thick hair growing up. I didn't have curly hair, but it was very wavy. And as I got older, after I hit puberty, it got curlier. But it was still, if you go into curl typing, it was still categorized as sort of like a 2C. Sort of in between wave and curls. I would get a few curls, but nothing like this where it's like pretty consistent ringlets, until about a little over a year ago when I started learning and watching YouTube videos and figuring out how to style my hair. And then I realized I had significantly curlier hair than I really thought I was. Also, my hair was significantly damaged. I was blonde for several years and my hair was just not reaching its full curl potential. So probably started really taking care of my hair and realizing I have curly ringlets about a little over a year ago. Next question, this is from Curls with Riri. How do you style with long nails? It's always harder for me when I grow them out, haha. So honestly, yes, I have quite long nails. These are not the longest they've ever been, but they've been longer, they've been shorter. I've had long nails pretty much consistently since I was 17, and I'm 24 right now, so that's quite a long time. I've honestly gotten accustomed to having long nails, so I honestly don't find I have any struggles or issues. The only thing I have a little bit of a struggle with is these nails right now, because they have these little rings, which I'm obsessed with, but they get caught on my hair a little bit. So when I'm doing my scalp massages, my rings get a little bit caught. So that's a little bit annoying, but for the most part, I don't really have any issues with styling my hair with long nails. You shouldn't be using like the tips of your fingernails to do anything, not to shampoo, not to massage, not to like anything. So really you should always be using the pads of your fingers anyway, so it shouldn't really be a big difference. But I could understand when you don't have long nails and then all of a sudden have long nails being like, what is going on? But honestly, I feel so weird without my nails. I love my nails. Next question, JA_Janelle, I assume, JA_N3LLE, Janelle, I assume. So how do you get your curls so defined? What is your favorite gels or mousses? Honestly, I think it really comes down to a few things with definition: application of your styling products, making sure you're distributing the product thoroughly, using a styling brush like the Denman brush, or I've been really obsessed with the Tangle Teaser lately. Those really help get my definition. And then also having a good protein to moisture balance. If your hair is out of balance, if you have too much protein or too much moisture, especially too much moisture, I feel like a lot of people when they start out, they're just like, I need moisture, I need deep conditioning. And yes, you do, but you obviously need to balance that out with protein. And if you don't, you will lack definition. And then what are my favorite gels or mousses? Right now, I'm obsessed with the Bounce Curl Light Cream Gel. I honestly don't want to do a wash routine without it. And my favorite mousse is the Paul Mitchell, what is it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking. It's like my favorite thing. Paul Mitchell Extra Body Sculpting Foam. That's my favorite too, right now. Honestly, I have so many favorites. Annie QHH asks, how much hair falls out on your wash days? Can you show us when you do washing and styling videos? So that's a great question. Honestly, I wash my hair every 5 to 10 days, so it varies, but I usually lose about, that's hard to explain, maybe about a grape, maybe a little less than a grape, like a small grape, if you ball up the hair sized amount. And I can definitely show you. I've definitely done a couple on my Instagram stories. I like to do little chit chats with you, especially like first impressions on my wash days and things like that. So definitely follow me on Instagram and check out my stories if you want to look at more of like my day-to-day curly lifestyle stuff. But I can definitely start showing you guys my hair fall. Some people find it a little gross, so I might just have like a hair fall warning so that no one will get grossed out, so if you don't want to see it. So yeah, that is a great question. I can definitely start doing that. And it is completely normal to have hair fall every single wash day. A really common question in my Facebook group is this normal, or how much hair fall is normal? And that really is subjective to you, and I do plan on doing a YouTube video all about hair fall, so I don't want to get too deep or this video will be a million years long. All right. And then NEQ also asks, and do you take some kind of vitamins or food supplements? I do not. I used to take biotin many years ago when I really wanted my hair to grow. And after doing some research and just learning about supplements and growth things, nothing will make your hair grow. No product, vitamin, supplement, unless you have hormonal issues where your hair is not growing because of something or medication, and by taking the supplement that your body's possibly lacking, that will help your hair to start growing again or growing at a normal speed. But if your hair is healthy, you're taking care of your scalp, because a healthy hair starts at a healthy scalp, and you're doing everything that you need to do, adding a supplement is really just going to ensure that the growth that does come out of your scalp is healthy and strong, but you're not going to see an immense change in the speed of your growth. Half_breed_711, you had some awesome fun questions, so thank you. Said, do you watch Avatar? Do you watch Avatar? What type of bender would you want to be? Earth, fire, water, or air? No, I have never watched Avatar. I'm not an anime fan. I'm sorry. I've never gotten into it. I like started reading like one anime many years ago and I could never get into it. So I'm assuming I kind of get the concept of Avatar where like they bend certain things, and I would probably want to bend fire. That sounds cool. And then half_breed_711 asks, if you could have any superpower, what would you be and why? So I was thinking about this when you asked me this question, because I feel like always these kind of questions, I give you guys better answers when I think about it. And I definitely think immortality, because I like mind reading, I like levitating and maybe time travel, but really at the end of the day, I love vampires. It's not something that comes up very often in my curly hair YouTube, Instagram, and channel, but vampires are like my favorite thing ever. So anything that could make me similar to a vampire, like immortality, would be something I would want. So immortality would be my superpower. If that is a superpower, basically Deadpool. Genesis_123 asks, how do you get so much volume? So to answer that question, to be completely honest, my hair is quite naturally voluminous. I'll try to find a picture of my hair without any product right here, and it's just it's massive. I have really big hair, so I honestly don't do much. I find that like shaking up my roots, using a hair pick, making sure I'm not applying super rich products towards my scalp do help promote volume. But I do plan on doing a max volume styling routine very soon, because if you've seen my birthday routine, my hair was even bigger than it is now. A little less defined, of course, because you can't really have your cake and eat it too when you want volume, but it was pretty freaking big. So I'm gonna do a routine. There's definitely products and tools you can do to help promote volume if your hair isn't naturally voluminous, so I definitely hope I can help you guys out with that routine coming up. Genesis also asked, Genesis_123, what curly influencers helped you the most on your journey to take care of your hair? Ooh, this is a great question. So when I first started, I probably, like everyone else, tried to figure out my curl type, which means nothing, and I'll get on that in another video. But I figured out my curl type was around 3A. I wasn't sure about 3B at the time because I really didn't know what my curls looked like. And I searched 3A curly hair routine, and one of the first people that popped up was Jamie Jo. And if you don't know Jamie Jo, she is an Australian YouTuber. She's gorgeous. She's also an actress. She just got cast in Hamilton in Australia, and she's just gorgeous. She has the most beautiful voluminous curls, and I saw her routine and it really inspired me to be like, I have potential to have beautiful curls. Not exactly like her, of course, because everyone's curls are different, but she's gorgeous, she's embracing her curls, why shouldn't I embrace my curls? So that really gave me the push that I needed to really embrace my curls. And then also I really love Amanda Walker on here. I'll link everyone down below, so if you want to check them out. Of course, Mains by Mel, and I'm trying to think of someone else. Maybe those are the ones right now. I feel like there's so many that I love. But what are your favorite deep conditioners? Genesis_123 asks. So I have a YouTube video, which I will link right above here or here, wherever it is, of my favorite deep conditioners. Honestly, they changed. That was a few months ago, so I still love all those deep conditioners, but I definitely have some new favorites. I might do an updated one. Right now, I really love the Ysabellakcontact Naturals Honey and Sage Deep Conditioner. So that's my current favorite. Favorite brushes to detangle with? Genesis_123 asks. Favorite brush to detangle with is my Easy Detangler. I don't have it with me right now, but I'll upload a little picture right here. And it was a game changer for me. I was using the wet brush and my hair was breaking the brush because it was just so thick and coarse that it was just not working with my hair. And once I started using that brush, I just detangle so quickly. My hair doesn't break or anything like that, and it's just been an amazing brush. So that's my favorite detangling brush. But second favorite, probably when my hair is less tangled, is the Tangle Teaser. When my hair is super duper tangled, I need to bring out the Easy Detangler. Half_breed_711 asks, how did you start as an influencer? Are you trying to make this your career? So I find it really like crazy to think that like you guys consider me to be an influencer. Honestly, it was never like my goal for all of these people that are so amazing to talk to me, but I enjoy every minute of it. I love you guys. I love talking to you about curly hair or life or anything. If you guys know, I'm so open to messaging you guys. If you ever have any questions, whether it be about my hair, my eyebrows, or just like what are you doing this weekend or something like that, like I love talking to you guys. I'm so open. So I really appreciate you guys thinking as me as an influencer to help you on your curly journey. So how did I start? Honestly, just started. I really just started posting my routines because I thought that I didn't find many people when I first started that had similar curl texture and density to me, and I found it a bit hard to find the right routine product wise based on what I was seeing online. So I started sharing it. I was in a couple of Facebook groups and people started really asking me how I styled my hair and my routine, so I made a video and I ended up uploading that video to YouTube because so many people were asking me about it. I thought it would just be easier to link them to YouTube video instead of finding the group post and linking them there, and that video is still my most watched video on my YouTube channel, which is crazy. And then I just continued doing it on my Instagram, and brands decided that they wanted to start working with me and doing sponsored posts and just, you know, sending me product to try out. So it just kind of happened, honestly. And am I trying to make this your career? My career, honestly, I'm kind of going with the flow right now. I would love for it to be my career. It would be something that would be wonderful. I would really enjoy it. It's something that I've always been interested in, just, you know, doing stuff in social media. If it doesn't happen though, honestly, I'm so thankful for it where it is now. So even if we don't grow, I'm really filled with joy that I have the opportunity to interact with so many of you guys already. So that would be awesome if it was my career. Helloa BTCS, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right. When did you start seeing a hair difference? How long did you wait? So I'm going to be doing a video on my curly hair journey, so I'm not going to do too much in depth because we'd be here forever, as I've said a couple of times already in this video. But I started my hair journey about 1.5 years ago, and my hair was not really color processed or damaged with heat or anything like that, because I stopped straightening my hair about 5 months before that, and before that I wasn't really, the last time I colored my hair was a little bit of about 1 year ago. At that point, it's been about a little over 2 years now since I've colored my hair. So my hair honestly was pretty healthy at the time. So it was really more about figuring out how to style and define and the right products for my curls. So honestly, it didn't take very long, maybe about a month of trial and error, trying different products and techniques and things that worked for me to really see my curls. But even looking back a few months ago and looking at my curls and the way I do it now, I'm always evolving and changing my routine. I'd like to say now I'm really at a place where I know my hair, know how to style it, know how to apply products, know what things work, know what things don't work, but I might feel differently in a few months. So I'd like to say I'm a good place right now, but I'd say to answer your question, about a month to see a real big difference. But that being said, every single person has a different curly journey. It really depends on how you start out. If you have straightening perm, if you have heat damage, if you have color damage, if you're really dry, if you don't know how to style. I grew up with a lot of hairstylists, and my mom had curly hair growing up all my life, so I really had a little bit of an upper hand learning how to style curly hair than some people that have never styled curly hair before. So it really just depends. So just take your time and don't feel like you have to find the product or the routine right away, because it might not happen. All right, so I have a few more questions from Instagram, and then we're gonna go to Facebook and YouTube. WEJDAN0311, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm just gonna spell that, asks, I have been using heat and sulfate for my curls and they got dry. Should I cut them all? So I'm not sure if you're talking about cutting the products, the sulfate and the heat, or if you're talking about your hair. But if you're talking about cutting the products, depending on heat, if you're straightening your hair regularly, obviously that's not going to give you the best curl potential. So I would probably cut the heat at least maybe just once or twice a year. Then you can kind of do a special treatment, especially when you're first starting out. Sulfates, I honestly have no problem with sulfates as long as you're using them. Sulfates is such a general phrase. There's so many different sulfate shampoos that can be moisturizing, hydrating. It's not necessarily an end-all be-all that it will make your hair bad, but if you find that you are getting dry hair like you say, then I would recommend using a sulfate shampoo once or twice every month or so, so like once every month or once every 2 months, and then using a sulfate-free shampoo in between. So if you're talking about cutting your hair off, if your hair is to the point where it is so dry and brittle that it is breaking off, it is not at a point where you think it is it's not going to come back to life, I would give yourself a good trim. But if you're talking about the products, then I would probably say cut the heat for a while and then cut the sulfate amount that you're using, maybe once a month. Sassy_Talia asks, how do I find my routine? Nothing works and I can't figure out my hair type / porosity. So not gonna lie, it's gonna be a trial and error. To find your routine, it's so important to find your porosity, your density, and your strand thickness. I'm gonna be making a video about this, so hold tight. But basically your porosity is how much your hair absorbs water. So when you hop in the shower, does your hair get wet really quickly? Does it take a few minutes to get soaking wet? Or does it take so long and your hair still doesn't look like you're dripping wet? If your hair is getting soaking wet very quickly, you probably have high porosity. If your hair takes about a minute or two to fully get saturated, you probably have medium porosity. And if your hair takes a while to get wet, you have low porosity. And then also finding out your density. That's how much hair, individual strands you have on your hair. Usually you can tell if you just feel like you have a low amount of hair, you don't have a lot. If you part your hair, do you see your scalp? Do you see a little bit of your scalp? Do you see a lot? Do you not see any? Usually that's the way to find out your density, and your strand thickness is your individual strand thickness. So when you feel just one strand, can you even feel it? Do you feel it a little bit but it's bendy and malleable, or does it feel rough and stiff? If it's the first one, it's fine. If it's the second, it's medium. And if it's the last, it's coarse. So I hope that helped you out. Once you figure that out, you can really start figuring out what ingredients and products will work for those porosity, densities, and strand textures. You know what I mean. And then Amber Nijiam 1, I think that's how you pronounce it. How to make my style hold through the day and the next day. So that honestly, again, is trial and error. A lot of people I find that do this, and I know you, Amber, I feel like you need protein. I feel like every time I chat with you, I think your hair needs protein. Doing protein treatments maybe more often than you think, maybe once every 2 weeks, once every even week, for a little while to really build that protein. I feel like when your hair is just falling, your hair can really just lack protein. So that's what I would say. And then maybe some more hold, like a stronger hold product. Maria Nelly, I believe. Marianelli. I feel like I've heard your name on your YouTube channel, but now I'm just going a blank. Hi girl. Anyways, does your hair have color currently? So yes and no. My hair is like 90% natural. All this is my natural hair. But if you see my ends, I'll try to get a little close. If you see my ends, there's a little bit of sort of a golden brownish blonde, and that is from the last time I colored my hair. I didn't lift it, I just I had some blonde already and I actually got it colored over. It was like a chocolate brown at the time, but of course it's faded now. But everything else, all this blackish brown, is my natural color. Eventually, sorry guys, my camera died, but as I was saying, eventually I probably will cut off the little colored bits or color over it or something like that, but for now I'm enjoying my little highlights. half_breed_711 asks, favorite Disney movie? My favorite Disney movie has to be Pirates of the Caribbean. My favorite is the 5th, but I love all of them. The 5th is the Stranger Tides one with the mermaids, but I honestly love them all. If you're asking like animated Disney movies, probably Hercules. And my favorite as a child was The Little Mermaid, but now I think Hercules, and I also like Aladdin, the animated one, not the live action. All right, so now we're going to Facebook. So Farah, I'm not gonna give you guys a last name because I know that it's your personal Facebook, a lot of you, so I'll just say your first name and then your abbreviation for your last name, just to give you guys a little bit of privacy. So Farah M asks, how to really moisturize your hair from roots without causing buildup or hair fall? Moisturizing, I mean mask and styling and products. So I assume that you're probably trying to deep condition already and using hydrating products, but it's really not penetrating your hair. I also assume that you might have a low porosity because you're not really getting that moisture in your hair. So I would say make sure you're using heat when you're deep conditioning. Using a heat cap like the thermal hair care hot heads. I actually have one of those and I really like it. Or just using an actual like plug-in hair heat steamer. It doesn't actually put steam in your hair, but it has a heating little apparatus in there and it creates steam because you're adding heat and the moisture makes steam. That took way too much to explain, but doing that when you're deep conditioning will really help penetrate the deep conditioner into your hair deeper. Also, when it comes to styling products, using rich butters, also using the lock method. Liquid is your leave-in oil, and then your cream will really help contain that moisture in your hair. But then when it comes to roots, I wouldn't be applying such a heavy product, as you said, buildup or hair fall. Hair fall I wouldn't really be concerned of when you're deep conditioning or anything like that. You won't get hair fall unless you're using deeper curl, so cut that if you're using that. But buildup, make sure you're clarifying once a month to prevent buildup. Muna G asks, there are so many countries like mine where curl products are not available, and in that case, how can we care for our curly hair? I really loved this question because I do get this question often, being like, I live in this country or that country and I don't really have these kind of products. So obviously online is an amazing place you can find to order things from different countries, but I know sometimes that can be incredibly expensive and hard to get with customs and everything like that. So let's pretend the internet doesn't exist and you're not able to order anything. It really doesn't depend what products you use. There are so many products out there that do very similar things. It really is about what ingredients you use and how you apply these products. So figuring out what ingredients your hair likes and learning those type of ingredients and looking for those in the product. So don't feel like you have to be strictly using curly products. I use a lot of products that are not meant for curly hair, but it doesn't mean that my hair is not going to be curly or it's not going to look good. So if your hair is really dry and you know it likes shea butter, finding products that contain shea butter, finding ingredients, things like that really work for your hair. There hopefully should be options out there in your local market. It just may not look like the kind of products I use, but hopefully you should be able to find something. I really hope that helped and answered your question. All right. Cassie R asked, how to properly refresh your curls, maybe also what products to use for a deep conditioning and protein mask. So I do actually have a video on how I refresh my curls, so I'll link it right above here. If I'm being completely honest, I rarely refresh my hair. I mentioned that in that video. I've refreshed my hair maybe once a month, twice a month. I don't do it often. And then also what products to use for deep conditioning treatment and protein mask. So that honestly, I can tell you guys my favorite ones, but everyone's hair is different. So I would always say find what works best for your hair. Right now, I really love, like I mentioned, the Ysabellakcontact Naturals Honey and Sage Deep Conditioner and Protein Treatment. I'm really loving the EcoSlay Matcha Boost Protein Treatment. Dahlia N asks, how to balance your routine between moisturizing and protein. So that I'm going to do a whole video about finding your protein to moisture balance, because it is so different for everyone. For me, my hair cannot get enough of protein, so I try to put that stuff in every single product I use, in my shampoo, my conditioner, my stylers, everything. But some people, they only need a little bit of protein. So I'm gonna make a video about how to identify if your hair likes it or doesn't like it, and how to build a routine with that info. So if your hair likes a lot of protein, if your hair doesn't like a lot of protein, all that. So stay tuned for that, but it really just varies for everyone, to be honest. There's no direct answer that will work for everyone with anything, pretty much with curly hair. Diana HS, what are the different types of oil you can add to your hair to lock in moisture? How do you apply them? She has a couple questions, so I'm going to start with this one. So I do have a video all about oils, which I will link. I really love Mimi's Curls oils. I also just love straight almond oil, marula oil, argan oil, coconut oil. There are so many oils, but my go-to oil has to be Mimi's Curls oils. What can I do to get volume back in my hair? I lost it all from Diva Curl. Well, first of all, I'm really sorry about that, Diana. That's a really shitty thing that happened with Diva Curl. Unfortunately, based on people that I follow, it's something that's going to take time. If you lost your density, possibly due to breakage, our hair does not grow overnight, so it might be something that you're just going to be constantly working at. I would highly recommend following Hi Felicia on Instagram. I will link her Instagram right here. She has been a big influencer that was a huge supporter of Diva Curl. She was one of their biggest ambassadors that had really severe diva damage, and she constantly makes posts about it. Since I never used Diva Curl, I can't really share my personal experience with dealing with that issue, but I'm sure it's very frustrating and tough. So I would highly recommend checking out Hi Felicia. Maybe hair products are weighing it down. So I don't know what hair products you're using. I don't know your porosity, your density, or your strength thickness, so it's hard to say, but it could be possible that you are using too heavy products for your hair or using too much. I feel like a lot of people use too much product when they really don't need that much, so possibly try less or lighter weight products. I just used Odell, their leave-in conditioner and their air dry styler for this wash day, and they're very lightweight, but I really enjoy them, so possibly check them out. Carly B asks, what are your curl clump hacks? So honestly, when it comes to curl clumps, I feel like it's a huge thing in the curly community. The goal is to get these thick, chunky curl clumps, and the truth is not everyone's gonna have those thick, chunky curl clumps. My biggest hack is water. Water. When you are styling your hair, make sure your hair is dripping wet if you have a problem achieving curl clumps, and then also making sure that the product you are applying is helping create those curl clumps and not working against you. One of my favorite products, I actually have it right here, so I'll just show you, is the Bounce Curl Avocado and Rose Oil Clump and Define Cream. It says what it does and it does what it says. It helps define your curls and adds those clumps. Tiffany M asks, how long have you been in California? I've lived here all my life. I was born in San Diego and I still reside in San Diego. I've never lived anywhere else. Lizette J.D. asks, when refreshing day 3 or 4, how can I get rid of the frizz, especially on the top of my head? Real answer, you can't. Especially that halo frizz is inevitable. It is always part of having curly hair. Frizz will always be there. There is no way to 100% get rid of frizzy hair. If you find that you're having a ton of frizz, you possibly could be needing some protein, or you could be using too much water when it comes to refreshing. Sometimes when you use too much water and it's kind of this weird balance. If you use not enough water or way too much water, your hair can get a little frizzy, but at the end of the day, halo frizz, it's gonna be there. It's not going anywhere. Adam G asks, do you rinse out your protein treatments and or deep conditioners with a conditioner rinse, or do you rinse with water and move on to styling? He also has other questions, but I'm gonna answer that one first. So most of the time will rinse out my protein treatments and deep conditioners with just plain ass water, and I will just go on to styling. But occasionally I will, if I'm hopping out of the shower to deep conditioner or do my protein treatment, I will shampoo, regular condition, and then do my protein treatment or deep conditioner when I get out, and then hop back in the shower after a few minutes and then rinse it out. But I don't apply anything afterwards. And then you also ask, also, are detanglers the same as leave-ins? Is leave-in a curl cream? What is a hair milk and is it different than detanglers and creams? Are creams and soufflés the same? So to answer your question, it really varies on the brand and the product you're specifically talking about. Unfortunately, there's no general rule of thumb when it comes to describing a product. Some brands' hair milks are curl creams. Some brands' hair milks are leave-ins. Some brands' soufflés are gel. Some brands' soufflés are leave-ins. Like, it's so random and it depends on the brand. But based on the definitions, a leave-in and a detangler for the most part are similar. A detangler can sometimes be more of a water-based product that helps detangle your hair either right when you get out of the shower or just in between wash days. A leave-in conditioner is just going to add moisture and hydration to your hair. It's not going to help define your curls. Or a curl cream is basically a moisturizing or hydrating product that is going to have a little bit of hold to more hold depending on the product, and that is going to add obviously some definition, still some moisture. But the difference between a leave-in and a curl cream is a curl cream is going to help clump your curls together a bit more, and it's more of a styler. And then a souffle, like I said, it really varies. Some brand souffle is a gel, other brand souffles are a little bit thicker of a cream. For the most part, I've seen souffles be more of like a whipped gel, almost like a jelly. That makes any sense. I hope I answered your question, Adam. All right. Julie MH asks, do you wash and or style upside down or right side up? Always right side up. I honestly just get way too much of a head rush to do that upside down. Sometimes I'll flip my head side to side when I'm like applying gel or something, but pretty much always right side up. So I got a few of you guys asking me some questions on YouTube, and that is the last of the questions. I hope you're still here with me. Laura Rain, R-A-I-N-E, that's Rain, ask, best product for hold. Last year I used to get 5 days out of my curls. I get 1 now. My hair is longer and my curl pattern has become looser. Debating on whether to cut it shorter. Would that help my curl pattern spring back or how it was? So my favorite product for strong hold is probably my favorite product for strong hold is probably EcoSlay's Orange Marmalade. That stuff has really strong hold. And then, are you clarifying? Are you clarifying once a month? Are you doing protein treatments? That could definitely make a difference. Also length, yes, your curl pattern could be getting looser because your hair is getting heavier and longer, so it could definitely come back if your hair is shorter, but it could just be that you have buildup that you're not really clarifying, so it's hard to tell based on the information you give me. But I would check if you're clarifying, if you're doing protein treatments, and if you're doing all that, then possibly give yourself a bit of layers. All right, Julie J-U-H-I, Joey? I'm sorry. M asks, what are some of the products you do not recommend and haven't worked for you? Question mark. Thanks. Honestly, I try not to be negative. I really try not to, you know, say, oh, this product doesn't work for me, blah, blah, blah. But one product that I will say that I really don't like, that I might revisit just to see, to make sure I don't like, is the Marc Anthony Curl Styling Lotion, that yellow tube. I'll link a picture right here. I used that entire bottle when I was styling my hair, trying to make it work, and it just didn't work for me. So the thing is, like, I don't really have any products that I don't recommend unless it's like something that made my hair fall out, because everyone's different. Every product works differently. So what may work for me or doesn't work for me may work amazing for you. So unless it's something that like caused me severely damage, I won't flat out say I do not recommend these products, because it just might be my hair or the way I'm applying it or something else. Jillian Phillips asks, what is your favorite shampoo / conditioner of all time? I feel like most curly girls are constantly switching it up and I just want to go too. So to answer your question, Jillian, I have a few that are my favorites, but you really do need, I'd say in a perfect world, 3 shampoos that you need to switch around. I'd say a moisturizing sulfate-free shampoo. Yeah, a moisturizing sulfate-free shampoo. To fit that one, I would say the Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Mafur Oil shampoo. And then I would say a protein sulfate-free shampoo. And that one I've been really loving is the Verb Ghost Oil shampoo. And it still has moisturizing ingredients, but it's definitely more of a protein-based shampoo. And then a clarifying shampoo. I would say if you get any clarifying shampoo, I really love the Aveda Rosemary Mint shampoo. It has sulfate, so it really deeply cleanses your hair without stripping it or drying it. So I'd say those 3. It's hard to say just one because one can't do it all. One can't clarify, one may have protein, but it may not have enough moisture. It's good to have a few just to switch it up because our hair's needs is always changing. And then also conditioner, because I think you asked conditioner, right? Oh yeah, in conditioner, that probably the same thing. I would say you would maybe need just 2, not 3, because you're not really clarifying conditioner. For conditioner, my favorite really moisturizing one is the Myel, sorry, there's a hair on my face. The Myel Moisture RX hydrating, I believe it's like the Hawaiian Ginger conditioner. That one's really softening and conditioning. And then for protein, I gotta go with the Verb Ghost Oil conditioner, because that one is so good. It has protein, it has moisture, but it always makes my hair super balanced. So that would be my top favorites. I hope I answered your question. And let me double check that I didn't miss any questions. No, that is it. Thank you guys so much for powering through this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys got some information. I hope you guys also got a chance to get to know me a bit more. I know I talk a lot about curly hair and you generally don't get to really figure out the kind of person that I am. So I do plan on doing more of these Q&As in the future. If you have a burning question that you want me to answer, drop your question down below and I'll try my best to answer it. If you guys have a ton, I might do a part 2 of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a beautiful rest of your day and don't forget your frizz is beautiful. Bye guys.